Quite simply, there isn't anyone like him. For 60 years, he's dominated the Indian film industry, and all that while they've held him in affection and in awe. So how did it all start, and more importantly, what is he like? Well, today's your chance to find out as I introduce you to the one and only, the legendary Dev Anand. Welcome to the program, Dev.
Thank you.
You know, you're in the process of finishing your latest film, Love at Times Square.
I've just finished it. I've finished the dubbing. I'm starting to do the background music from the 22nd and the mixing in the first week of October and heading for release in December.
So December this year, the movie will be available to everyone.
I started the film on the 31st of December 2000 at the Times Square, New York. There's the dawn of the 21st century. And I was there for 7 hours filming that event. Then I went on the 2002, 31st of December again for the ending of the film. Again stood there for 7 hours after the devastation, New York devastation. And the span of the story is 1 year, 2001, 2002.
But you know,
and 2003 I shall release the picture in December.
But you know, the amazing thing is you're 79 years old. What keeps you going?
I shall be 79 on the 26th of this month. What keeps me going? I think now my motion pictures, because I make my own stories, I write my own scripts, I get hold of ideas, I start developing those ideas, I do my screenplays, I go behind the cameras, I face the camera, I introduce newcomers, I cast big stars, I'm sitting with the music director, I'm in the editing room, and by the time I finish a film, I'm on with the next one, and that's total involvement, and involvement is excitement, and excitement is what you need all your life to keep you young.
You know, they call you the Peter Pan of the Indian film industry.
That is what they call me, but I don't care what they call me, but I think I am what I am.
They say you're the boy who never stopped dreaming and whose dreams have always been made true.
I think one should never stop dreaming. The day you stop dreaming, you cease to be. And dreams never end. If you fulfill one dream, it leads on to another, and to another, and to another. And it's beautiful to keep on dreaming.
So would you say, in a sense, the secret...
All my films are dreams. They turn into reality as soon as the movie is over.
So would you say the secret of Dev Anand is the fact that he dreams and then he makes those dreams reality?
That's a fact. It's a fact.
So life has been one big, beautiful dream.
I weave stories out of dreams, out of realities, out of situations, out of newspaper cuttings, out of personalities, out of incidents. And then you make situations to make them believable for the audience. And that's a dream by itself.
You know, let's go back to the very beginning of the dream that's been your life. The world today knows you as Dev Anand, but that actually wasn't the name your parents originally gave you, was it?
No. My name, as my parents gave me, was Dharam Dev. Devdutt is wrong, which is in the internet. My real name given to me by my parents is Dharam Dev. I took off Dharam because Dharam is a big problem in the world. So I just kept Dev, which is sweet and nice, and Anand is my surname. So I'm Dev Anand.
You know, you had 5 sisters and 2 brothers. Was it a happy childhood?
Yes, when it's a wonderful family, big family, it's always happy. But then I have lost 2 brothers, I've lost 2 sisters, and well, you take life as life goes on. Yeah, it was an upper middle class family in Gurdaspur. My father was a lawyer, and I was a middle class little boy roaming the streets, tramping, playing gulli danda, marbles, cricket, hockey, going to school, then going to Dalhousie for during summer. My father used to take me to an English convent, and then I went to college, and then I wanted to go to Lahore Government College, and my father's situation, the financial situation was not very right. He said, why go to that college? It's very, very expensive. I said, no, I must go to that college. And my mother was very seriously ill. She was dying. And at that moment, I was very close to my mother. And she held my hand, and she gave that hand to my father, and she said, this boy of mine was looked after me when I'm dying. Just take care of him and send him to Lahore Government College.
And you went?
I went there. And I did my graduation there. Then I wanted to go for my MA, literature. Then my father said, no further money for MA. You better do a job in a bank.
And that's when, in fact, you went to Bombay. You went to seek your
I
fortune.
broke all my ties in Gurdaspur and Lahore, and I picked up my bag. And I keep on repeating this because it's a very important part of my biography, that I literally had 30 rupees in my pocket and a small little bag, and the frontier mail which left Lahore and left me and dropped me at Bombay Central, and tall, huge buildings all of a sudden. And I was a tramp.
So there you were, a little boy from Gurdaspur in a big city, all on your own. Were you
Yes.
scared? Were you nervous?
And that probably was the best period, 2.5 years of struggle. I call it very romantic because that made me what I am.
So struggle has been good for you.
I think so. I think it's important.
What did you do? You were in the military census office at the
For a
time?
little while, because I had to make some money to make both hands meet.
So you used to check the letters soldiers wrote to each other?
From the military people to military census was it was 1945. The war ended in 1945, and I was under some British soldiers, colonels and majors, and censored letters from military people, from officers back home to their families.
You know, there's a lovely story about how you got your first job. They say that you got a job with Prabhat Studios because you just barged into Babu Rao Pai's office and commanded one.
I literally get crashed. It was raining, like it's raining now in Delhi, and I put on my overcoat and I got into the local train, and I straight went to his office, and he was not there, and the chowkidar was there. And he asked me, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I've got to meet the big Saab." He said, "He's not here." I said, "I shall wait." He said, "We can't wait," but I shall wait. And it so happened that the big Saab just was passing by, going into his office, and he looked at me, stopped for a while, for a few seconds, went inside, called the chowkidar, the usher, "Who's this boy sitting outside?" He says, "He wants to meet you." He said, "Get him in." So I went and sat for 10 minutes. He kept looking at me and laughing at himself. And I said, "I believe you have a break waiting for a young man, and I want to present myself."
What did he say?
He again laughed and said, "Are you free day after tomorrow?" I said, "Yes." "Why don't you come day after tomorrow, meet my director?" I said, "I'd love to." So I went there 2 days later, and I met the director, and that happened to be P.L. Santoshi, Rajkumar Santoshi's father.
And he took you for Hum Ek Hai?
And he said, and he also liked me, he said, "Can you come to Pune for an audition?" I said, "Yes." So they gave me first class ticket by Deccan Queen to go to Pune. And first class ticket to Pune, those days was fantastic for me. And I went to Pune, and I gave my test, and I came back, and I felt ill for 7 days with excitement.
You know, the movie that you made...
And then I got a break for 400 rupees a month.
Which was a fortune for you.
Which was great money those days. 400 rupees a month, they would cut about 35 rupees as tax. And I was a lord and master of my destiny, roaming the streets of Pune. And then I never looked back.
But you know, when you were making that movie that P.L. Santoshi cast you for Hum Ek Hai, it wasn't the film so much, but a friendship that you formed during the making of the Gurudat.
Gurudat was an assistant director to Vishram Bedaka and a dance director. He had just come from Uday Shankar's academy, Cultural Academy in Almora, and he and I became great friends, pals.
And you made a promise to each other, didn't you?
Yes, we did, I did, and he did. I said, if I hit the big time and I become a producer, you come and direct my picture. And he said, if I ever become a director, you'll be my star.
And in fact, you fulfilled that promise.
Which I did,
great movie
and
Basi,
his career started in Basi, and Basi was directed by him. It was a Navketan picture. We started Navketan in 1949. Now, 1949 to 2002, and this is my company for that long, and we made so many pictures. I think 80% of the movie people have rubbed shoulders with Navketan.
But you only did one movie with Gurudat as director. Do you regret that?
Then no, I made another picture for him, CID, directed by Raj Khosla. He was again his assistant, again a Navketan boy, but he produced it. So and every time he wanted to make a picture, he invited me to do a picture, but he just never clicked.
Pause for a moment and tell me, with Ziddi first and then with Basi.
Ziddi was Bombay talking. Ziddi was produced by...
The young boy who came from Gurdaspur seeking his fortune, suddenly overnight, in his early 20s and mid-20s, got catapulted to stardom. What did stardom feel like?
Oh, today's stardom, I'm taking for granted. I'm very down to earth. I have the same habits.
But in 49, in 48?
40, yeah.
When stars were in your eyes?
I think I got recognized in Ziddi, and I became a star in Basi. And after Basi, I never looked back. And the high watermark came in Guide, which was a collaboration deal with Pearl Buck. We did it in 2 versions, one in English R.K. Narayan's novel. We sent it to America, and one in Hindi, which my brother directed.
I'm interested you should say that the culmination came with Guide, because almost everyone, when they talk about Devanand and his amazing career, always stop and say Guide was special. Was it special for you as well?
Very special, for various reasons. Number one, it exposed me to Hollywood. Number two, it instilled me a feeling that enough of stardom. Movie making is in the hands of a director. It's a director's medium. Go on, boy, make your films. And I knew I could write, I could direct. I had learned the mechanics of making films. And it's risky, and you spend money to make a picture.
But this is fascinating. You're saying on the sets of Guide, the director Devanand was born.
Yes, and I started writing my script called Prem Pujari after that, in the 1965 conflict.
So in fact, it wasn't the challenge alone of being a director, it was your desire to completely master the medium and to be in yourself everything.
You don't ultimately completely master it. No, you can't master anything all the time. You keep on learning more and more, more and more, more and more. You're in the constant process of learning. And if that is so, you are there all the time. And the moment you feel it's enough, you become a master, you're finished. Nobody is ever a master. Nobody, no field.
So you're saying that the need to keep learning and the realization that you don't know everything.
The need to keep learning is the need to live.
And that's what keeps you going.
I think so.
So when you said ages ago in one of your interviews, I never give myself a chance to get depressed. I always think ahead. I always want to do something new. That is really what keeps you going.
I think it's my temperament, the streak of optimism in me. I think I'm a human being. I also get depressed, but for a very short while. It's not worth it. Life is worth living, and life is beautiful. I think you should throw away all depression and all things that are ugly. Life is wonderful.
But how easy is it to be like this?
It's not easy, but you should make it easy. You should make it feel easy for you. That's important.
So you have
a lot of things involved. I think again I come back to the same statement. Your involvement makes it very easy.
But your
involvement, a tremendous involvement, 10% involvement in whatever you do.
But it also seems that you have enormous willpower and enormous determination.
I think yes, willpower is very important, because willpower, after all, the whole world is there to push you down, to push you, and to ride you, and to ride on your shoulders, and to bug you, and to gun you down. But again, your own personality, it's a personality of confidence, of your own achievement, of whatever you're doing, you must have confidence in, and I think that keeps you going. Don't look towards your left, don't look towards your right, don't look behind you. Go on looking straight ahead and look at the Mount Everest. There you climb it.
Dave, what a wonderful thought to sum up the way you've made your career. Let's take a break. I want to come back and talk about the style that you've made your own. Not the determination, but the style that is so uniquely Devanand. We'll be back in a moment's time. Don't go away. Welcome back. My guest is the incredible Devanand. Dave, let's talk about your style as an actor. When the world takes your name, there are certain things that immediately come to everyone's mind. One of them is your rapid-fire delivery. And I can see you talk as if it's a Sten gun.
I think it's me, the way I talk because I think fast. And I think it happened in the Guide, because there were beautiful scenes written, and it needed a very fast delivery. But again, fast delivery does not mean that your words must not be clear to the listeners. But I think the faster you speak, the faster you convey your sentiment, the better it is, even for the cinema.
And then, of course, the other thing that everyone remembers about you is the incredible array of caps you always wore, and the shirts that were buttoned up right to the chin. How did that start?
Now listen to me. I've always hung on to my habits, right from the childhood. I love buttoning my shirts. I love caps. I love scarves. I love socks. I love belts. I love the same things as I loved 50 years ago.
So how come you haven't got a cap on your head today?
I have it in my hand.
You have a cap in your hand?
You want me to wear it?
I do indeed.
Okay. If you like the right tilt, tell me. There it is. 1 second, hold on. You see the right tilt? I can't see the mirror. But I love caps. You know, every time I go abroad, it's very childish. In India, when you go into the streets and you're a known person, you can't be yourself. You're recognized, you're embarrassed, people call you, they want to shake hands with you, they love you, they surround you. And I'm very good with the people, I'm very good with the audiences, because I think they have made me what I am. So I better be good to them. But when I go abroad, There are a lot of NRIs now who recognize wherever you go. But I go to Oxford Street, I go to Regent Street, I go to America, I go to Fifth Avenue, or I buy just to buy a good cap or a good scarf. Because good caps are not available in this country.
You know, your one-time secretary once said,
because I love wearing it, because I think it's a habit again, because maybe subconsciously, maybe psychologically, I think everybody's hung on to some habits in a very certain psychological way, and this is one of my habits, because I thought I must have thought to myself in after seeing one of my films that I look good in a cap. Maybe I do, I'm not sure. It's a habit. And now I think I want to wear it all the time, and it's very handy. You can wear it when it's raining. You can wear it when there's sunshine. You want to ward off the sunshine. And number two, it gives you style. And
style is important.
It gives you style. It gives you good gait.
Style is important to you, isn't it?
Style is the man, and style is the woman. And style has no definition. Something very ordinary also has a style. Something not noticeable has a style. If you notice something, if you notice a person or notice a certain thing in the street, the way that thing is lying or being exhibited is a style. That's it. You know, acting is a style. You are a style. The way you interview people. People can always say it's Karan Thapa. They just have to close their eyes and say, this is Karan Thapa. This is the way he's speaking. That's your style. So if you get away from it, you are not Karan Thapa.
Tell me something then. If style is so important,
yeah,
how much of Devanand is actually a creation from inside Devanand's own mind? How much of Dev is actually crafted by him himself?
Devanand is Devanand because Devanand crafted himself onto style. And when I'm performing, what I'm performing, who I'm performing, what am I supposed to be, even when I'm writing. So when I'm acting, it becomes different.
But the real Devanand is his own master. That's what you're saying.
I have to be real, otherwise I'm not Devanand. If I'm not Devanand, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
There is, of course, another side to the image the world has of you. That is the romantic. You mentioned it yourself briefly in part one. Is it true that way back in the 40s, Suraya was the love of your life?
Yeah, I think I was in love with her.
Was she in love with you?
I don't know. I think I was new and she was a star, and I was probing my way into the movie industry, and she was a great singer and she was a great actress, and I was cast in a film with her, and we met each other, and I suddenly discovered that she was very friendly, and she discovered that Dee was very friendly, and we started getting close to each other, and she developed a little more liking for me, and from friendship to love affair. Love affair means probably it was the first girl I loved. It was my calf love.
So it's a very important relationship for you. First love,
well, yes,
yes,
and I think it was nice because the first relationship always makes a man out of you. It gives you, it refines you, it gives you lots of things. And I think when you talk of romance, I think life should be romantic, not necessarily in terms of love making or love affairs, but you writing a beautiful page of beautiful lines is romantic. You wearing a necktie is romantic. You speaking is romantic. Moving on the streets into a park, flowers
and would you
are romantic.
also say that falling in love is a lovely way of being?
I think everybody falls in love. One should fall in love unless you're a piece of wood.
They say, and I don't know if it's true, so correct me, that you and Suraya had planned to elope during the filming of Jeet. Is that true? And then she chickened out?
I wouldn't elope with anybody. I would just openly say, look, I'm going out with you, and let the world know. But again, I think her parents were not interested in that sort of a matrimony, and maybe the things turned the right way, because if he had got married, things would have been different for me.
But did she did she break your heart?
I grew because of that separation. I grew a hell of a lot as a man, as a human being, as a performer, as a thinker.
You're saying once again that the pain and the suffering that you went through when the relationship broke helped you grow as a man.
I think so. Pain and suffering is every day.
But it must have been difficult at the time.
Temporarily, yes. Temporarily. Again, I'm a very optimistic man. Come back to Devanand's character. My sufferings and my sorrows and my sadness are very short-lived.
In 1954, of course, you did get married, and you got married to the lady who is your wife today,
Yes.
Kalpana Karthik. Is it true that the marriage happened during a lunch break during the shooting of Taxi Driver?
Yes. Yes. Because we decided that marriage is a very personal affair. Very, very personal affair. Like somebody's death is a very personal affair. So if it's a personal affair, then let's get married first and then announce to the world. Instead of having a big band baja and hundreds and thousands of people being invited and sending.
So what did you say to the crew? Did you tell them you were going to get married?
Nobody knew except my cameraman, who was a friend of mine. But we broke the news later. Even when my brother, who was directing me, he didn't know.
He had no idea that
No,
Dave had gone to get
no.
married.
And that was one of the thrills of getting married.
You've been married in the year 2004. It will be, in fact, your 50th anniversary.
1954, we got married.
Are you happily married?
Well, yes, by any standards. I think we are together. We are living together. No matter what the world says. I have a son, I have a daughter. They are very much a part of the family.
Are you a family man? Are you very close to your family?
How to define being a family man? I'm in the show business. I'm mostly away from home. I'm doing my pictures. I'm on location. I'm writing my pictures. I want isolation. I want to go away into the mountains. I love the mountains. I want to just get into a corner and shut myself to do a little bit of writing. I get into my moods. So I'm not the type who would stick around with people and say, look, I'm a family man. You take it for granted. She's a wife, he's my husband, and that's my son, and that's my daughter.
In a way, you're lucky that she accepts all that.
I think she'll probably learn to accept it.
They say that you've kept notes about your life, or maybe a diary. Is that true?
I write my diary.
Every single day?
I write my diary, but a lot of my diaries have been lost because you cannot keep diaries or letters. I started my career in 1945. They get rusted, they get bad with age, yellow with age, and dust laden, and your trunks get lost. But there's so much to say, so much to write. I'm going to write something.
Will you write an autobiography?
Yeah, I think so, because I want to, but I do not know when, because every time I finish a film, I hang on to another one. But I think I'm very fast in my execution. If I decide to myself, look, I'm going to write it, it just takes me 4 weeks to get away somewhere. Nobody knows, should know where I am, and I'm going to do something and say something which the world will thrill to read, because life starting from 1945, my career to now, sitting in front of you, this is the latest, note the time, Karan Thapar interviewing me, so much to say, so many years. Indian independence came in 1947.
Dave, on behalf of all your many fans, make those 4 weeks and write that book. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
I shall. Thank you.
Thank you.